Hi guys, today we're going to be making a cinnamon peach bread, and this bread is really great for the summer, especially if you're hosting, or it's even great with a cup of tea or coffee. As always, the ingredients will be below, along with the instructions in the description. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin this recipe by preheating our oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're then going to cream together our butter and brown sugar. To cream these two together, you can either use a stand mixer or a hand mixer. We're now going to mix in the eggs one at a time. Now we'll go ahead and add the milk and the vanilla extract. If you don't want to use whole milk, you can obviously use any type of milk that you prefer. When we add each of these ingredients, you don't want to overmix our mixture, just enough to incorporate those ingredients. I'm now just going to set this aside and we're going to move on to dicing our peaches. So for the peaches, I'm using about 2 cups. You can use more or less depending on your preference. Usually I would use fresh peaches for this, but I could not find organic fresh peaches around me, so I just went for organic frozen peaches. So that is an option as well if you're in the same boat that I am. And if you're a texture person and you think that the bits and pieces of the peaches and the bread would bother you, you can always either cut them up smaller or you can puree them and add them into the bread that way. I'm just cutting them into little bite-sized pieces. So not too big, not too small. So most of my peaches are about 1 centimeter big. We're now just going to stir in the peaches to our mixture. Ooh, I do want to note that I did let the frozen peaches sit overnight in the fridge to defrost, so they are completely thawed out. Now using a sifter, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients. So the flour, baking soda, baking powder, cardamom, cinnamon, and salt. I think that's all of them. And once we get everything sifted into the bowl, we'll go ahead and gently stir the mixture, making sure we don't over stir it. And this was my great-grandmother's, isn't it so cool? It's a little rickety, but it gets the job done. You should then have a pretty thick mixture. Here I have my bread pan that I've generously greased with some butter. We're now just going to get our mixture into the bread pan, and we're going to bake it for about 50 to 55 minutes, but of course, always keep an eye on it. Just make sure that before you put your bread in the oven, that it's spread pretty even in the pan. And totally optional, but I topped my bread with a few extra slices of peaches, and then I put some more brown sugar on top of those peaches just to caramelize them. But of course, like I said, totally optional. And you guys, here is our final product. It's so pretty. Now I did let this bake in the oven for closer to 60 minutes. Like I said, just watch it. The time might vary. I can say anywhere between 50 and 60 to 65 minutes. If you use more peaches, you'll definitely need to bake it for a little bit longer. I also did let the bread cool for about an hour. You can cut it immediately, just note that it will be quite hard to cut and it might kind of crumble the bread a little bit, but you definitely can serve immediately if you would like. I like to let it cool for an hour, like I said. It's still a little bit warm, yet easy to cut. Now we'll just set this aside and go ahead and make the glaze to go on top. The glaze is super simple. We're just mixing together the 2 ingredients, the powdered sugar and the milk. The glaze is also totally optional, you guys. This bread alone is so good. And here we have our glazed cinnamon peach bread. I feel like this bread would also be super delicious with a streusel topping. So if you make that, let me know in the comments and let me know how it is. Also, let me know in the comments your favorite summer seasonal fruit. Now let's go ahead and cut into this. It's such a pretty cross section. And let's go ahead and give it a wee taste. This is so good, you guys. It's a perfect summer treat that's not too sweet. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you love this recipe. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those below in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that so you don't miss any future content. Now I have to go take my husband a slice of this. Bye, you guys.